Crushing of the struggle. We had seen, we dedicatedly started the struggle, but it was crushed by the British government. What was the reason? Why it happened? We will discuss in this topic. The Indians wholeheartedly fought against the British. What do you mean by wholeheartedly? Wholeheartedly means complete dedication, right? Complete dedication, bravery. But the reason we lost the war, the Indians wholeheartedly fought against the British, including soldiers, zamindar, king, commander, and common people. The Indian sepoys started the freedom struggle before the fixed time. There were so many reasons, like the freedom struggle started before the fixed time, the time which decided by the other regiments or the cantonment. But this has been started before the fixed time. Even we don't have a proper leadership or don't have a central administration. Initially, they succeeded. Initially means at the beginning, the Indian soldiers captured so many territories. But as day passes, British took back again those territories. Initially, they succeeded, but military strength and administration of British rule was vast. What is vast? Vast means huge, right? We don't have a proper administration. What administration means? Management. And even the British rule, their army, their military strength was much more larger than us. The British crushed down the struggle by all means. The British made quick recovery within next 6 months, regained the lost territory. And those territories, those were controlled or handled by the Indians, were took back by the Britishers within the time span of 6 months. So they had made this change. Many of the important leaders or the rulers lost their life, those who took part in the freedom struggle. Rani Lakshmi Bai, Kunwar Singh, Ahmadullah led their life. Bahadur Shah was imprisoned at Rangoon. Nana Shah and Begum Hazrat Mahal took shelter in Nepal. So these were the leaders who initiated this movement, but they end their life. Tatya Tope fought for next 10 months against the British, but due to the betrayal, he was caught and handed to death. Tatya Tope continued his struggle for the next 10 months, but again he caught in the hands of British due to the betrayal. What is betrayal? Betrayal means dishonesty. Betrayal means dishonesty. In this way, by the end of 1858, the British ruthlessly crushed down the struggle. So by the end of 1858, this freedom struggle was crushed by the Britishers. Even though the struggle began with the discontent among the soldiers, but later the peasant, artisans, common people, tribes came together to fight against the British. Even this struggle started by the soldiers, but common people like peasant, farmer, workers, they also joined the freedom struggle. There is a difference, big difference between the farmers and peasant. Both farmer and peasant are included in the agricultural work. The difference between that farmer and peasants are farmers have their own land, but peasant work on the other land. That's the major difference between farmers and peasant. Understood difference? Farmers have their own land, peasants don't have their own land. In this rebellion, Hindu Muslims stood up with a great force. Their common aim was overthrowing the British from India. Both Hindus and Muslims fought together to overthrow the British Empire. There was an inspiration of gaining independence behind this struggle, and therefore this freedom struggle against a national form. Because all over the country, the main aim of the people was to overcome the independence, to remove the British rule from our nation. That's why this freedom struggle got a great movement. Causes. What are the causes of the failure of the struggle? There are so many causes for the failure of the struggle. We will discuss about the few important points that impacted us. The struggle of 1857 became unsuccessful because of the following reasons. What are the reasons? The first, the struggle was not comprehensive. What are comprehensive? Huge, large. Our struggle was not large because it was started in parts. Like we all together didn't came forward. Even many rulers or the princely states didn't join this war. So we don't have much strength to fight against a huge army of British. Correct? The struggle did not take part simultaneously all over country. What is simultaneously? Simultaneously means at the same time. We fought, but at a different period, in a groups. If we all together attack at the same time, then we will definitely succeed. Its intensity was most severe in North India. As compared to other parts of country, it was more intense in North India. But Rajputana, Punjab, some parts of Bengal and Northwest India remained aloof. What is aloof? Apart. They are not completely participated in this freedom struggle. Next, lack of central leadership. We don't have a proper leadership or a single control. There was no commonly accepted leader to fight against the British. Due to this, there was no uniformity in the struggle against the British. So that was the reason we don't have a proper command. Most of the feudatory princes remained aloof. Many feudatory princes, those feudal lords, they are a part of this movement. Aloof means apart. Just as the common people suffered due to the British rule, similarly the princes were also suffering. Few princes, few rulers had supported this war. At the same time, many rulers and many princes are not against the Britishers, but except a few others remained faithful to the British. Lack of military tactics. What is tactics? Planning or strategy. So we don't have a proper planning, military planning, because we don't have highly equipped weapons, or our armies are not so trained. Even common people joined the war, right? They don't have any military training with them. Indian soldiers were brave, but did not use the tactics, did not use the planning, strategy. They captured Delhi, but could not retain its. So our soldiers captured the Delhi, but it is not possible for us to keep it safe, to keep it retained, because once the Britishers came in the power, they captured the territories which they lost. Similarly, the Indian rebels had limited armed supply. Even the common people or the soldiers don't have a huge supply of arms. The British had economic strength. Yes, we all know that British are much powerful than us in the terms of money, in terms of weapon, planning, even the transportation. The British had economic strength, disciplined army, enough stock of latest arms, and experienced army generals. Since transport and communication was in the hands of Britishers, their movement was swift. What where swift means? Easy. Right? They can easily travel from one place to another with the help of the vehicles or the transport system, or they can easily communicate. For example, at any place, if any revolt had outburst, then they can easily send the troops to the different places, right, to help them. So this way they had more power. Due to this, the Indian sepoys could not succeed. Wars are fought not only based on bravery but also through military strategies. Right, it's very true. Wars are not fought on the basis of bravery, but it also fought on the basis of strategies, planning. Next, international situation favorable for British. There are so many conditions at that time that favors the British rule. Like the war between the British and Russian had ended and British won that war. So already they have a lot of resources with them. The Crimean War, the war between Britishers and Russian are called as the Crimean War. Right? Remember the war between the Britishers and French, it is called as the Carnatic Wars. The Crimean War with Russia was just over. The British won the war. They had trade relations with different countries in the world. They have a better connection. So they have the arms supply. They have the communication. The naval strength. Naval means navy. At that time, Britishers were very much strong in the naval strength. Because at that time, most of the countries have their war through navy. The naval strength of British was vast, whereas the Indian rebels were isolated. What is isolated? Left alone. What is isolated? Left alone. So they are not as much connected with each other. Right? Now the consequences. After this huge war, even the British Parliament in England got a shock. So they brought so many changes in their administration because they understand that Indians are not happy with the British's rule. So they tried to bring a change so that the power that are kept in the hands of East India Company should be removed. So these are the consequences, you can say effects that happened after this war. Due to the company rule, there was growing dissatisfaction among the Indians and the British rule had to face the struggle of 1857. जो ब्रिटिश में पार्लियामेंट थे वहां के लोगों ने ये सोचा कि ये इतना बड़ा रेवोल्यूशन इंडियंस ने क्यों किया, बिकॉज दे वर नॉट हैप्पी. द फियर दे हैव कि अगर फ्यूचर में भी ऐसा कुछ रेवोल्यूशन हुआ तो हम शायद कंट्रोल नहीं कर पाए, तो उन्होंने बेटर पहले से प्रिकॉशन लेना स्टार्ट कर दिया. It forced the British Parliament to end the rule of the company and instead take over the responsibility of ruling over the people of India through the Government of Act 1858. So they brought an act. We know act. Act is called a law. In 1858, they brought a law called Government of India Act. With the help of this act, they start ruling on the Indians rather than through the company rule. We all know East India Company is not the ruler. East India Company was only a trading company. But since they started their domination, that created a big challenge for the British Parliament. The Governor General was now designated as the Viceroy of India. The designation, the post of Governor General has been stopped and a new name or new designation has been given, that is the Viceroy of India. So who was the first person to be named as Viceroy? Lord Canning. And Lord Canning was the last Governor General also. Understood? जो एक डेजिग्नेशन था, पोस्ट था गवर्नर जनरल का, वो डेजिग्नेशन हटा के एक नया नाम दिया गया उसी पोस्ट को, वाइसरॉय ऑफ इंडिया. तो कौन था लास्ट? लॉर्ड कैनिंग. तो लॉर्ड कैनिंग के पोस्ट को खत्म किए एज अ गवर्नर जनरल एंड ही वॉज ट्रीटेड एज वाइसरॉय ऑफ इंडिया. Remember that. Who was the first Viceroy of India? Lord Canning. Lord Canning happened to be the last Governor General and the first Viceroy of India. A new post called Secretary of State was created in the British government to look after the affairs of India. What are affairs? Activities. So a new post has been introduced that is called the Secretary of State, who will look after the affairs of India. Queen's Proclamation. What is proclamation? Proclamation means declaration, or you can say a public announcement. So what did, as we all know, at that time Queen Victoria rules the nation or other parts of country. So she declared that Indians no need to worry about the British rule. British or England will take care of them, because they want to calm down the Indian people. लोगों के अंदर इतना गुस्सा था ना कि ब्रिटिशर्स डर गए थे कि फिर से अगर ऐसा कुछ मूवमेंट होगा तो हम लोगों का जो कंट्रोल है इंडिया पे वो चला जाएगा. तो क्वीन ने लोगों को शांत करने के लिए कुछ स्कीम्स बताए. क्वीन विक्टोरिया ऑफ इंग्लैंड इश्यूड अ डिक्लेरेशन एड्रेसिंग द पीपल ऑफ इंडिया. ऑल इंडियंस आर अवर प्रोजेनी. व्हाट इज प्रोजेनी? प्रोजेनी लाइक अ चाइल्ड. कैसे प्रोजेनी होते हैं? जो एल्डर वंस बर्थ देते हैं. सो उनका कहना था कि इंडियंस को डरने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. इंडियंस और इंडियन का जो रूल है वो हम लोग अपने बच्चों की तरह ही केयर कर रहे हैं, जिससे आप लोगों को हमारे खिलाफ रिवॉल्ट करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. तो ये एक तरह से क्या था, हमारे लिए मैसेज था कि आप इंडियंस जो हो ब्रिटिशर्स को सपोर्ट करो, ब्रिटिशर्स के अगेंस्ट मत जाओ. henceforth, so she declared that henceforth in future, henceforth means in future, they will not be discriminated. Discriminated, differentiated. जो ब्रिटिशर्स गोरे काले का फर्क करते थे या ब्रिटिशर्स और इंडियंस में फर्क करते थे, जैसे हमने इंडियन सोल्जर्स में देखा. सो दे थॉट दैट कि अभी हम ऐसा डिफ्रेंशिएटेड नहीं करेंगे, इंडियंस को भी हायर पोस्ट मिलेंगे. जो ये सिविल सर्विसेज हमारे कंट्री में स्टार्ट होगा जहाँ पे इंडियंस भी एलिजिबल होंगे हायर पोस्ट के लिए विद द हेल्प ऑफ एग्जामिनेशंस. All Indians are our progeny. Henceforth, they will not be discriminated on the basis of race, religion, caste, or birth of place. Government services will be given on merit. Merit means on the basis of their rank or the quality. There will be no interference in religious affairs. Britishers declared that they won't interfere in the Indians' religion prospect. It was made clear that British Crown will honor all treaties. So it was also clear that British Crown means British rule or British Empire will respect or honor the treaties that made with the Indian ruler. What we had seen in the past, once British make the treaties and for their benefit they broke that treaties. So they declared that in future we won't do such things. It is a kind of surety given to the Indian people. There will be no interference in religious affairs. It was made clear that the British Crown will honor all treaties and agreements made by the company and or are agreements made by the company with the rulers of princely states, and no princely state will be annexed henceforth. What is annexed? Captured. Annexed means captured. Change in composition of army. What a composition? Arrangement. So it was a declaration, but against British thought on different ways also. कि ये इतना बड़ा movement हुआ कैसे? So they started to divide the Indian soldiers from their army. Instead of Indian soldiers, they appointed or they posted more British soldiers, and Indian soldiers were sent to England, so that जो number of Indian soldiers है वो क्या हो जाए? कम हो जाए, ताकि ऐसे movements आगे ना हो. The proportion of British soldiers was increased in the army. English officers were placed at strategic location. Strategic location means important locations. Artillery was kept exclusively in the hands of British. What are artilleries? Artillery means heavy weapons or important weapons. So जो भी control होता था weapons का वो Britishers के hand में दिए थे, because they were afraid कि Indians ने फिर से ऐसा कुछ movement किया तो they will all come together. There was division on military on basis of caste, and they started to divide the Indian people into the caste because they have seen the strength of Hindu and Muslim. So they planned to divide the Indians in different castes. So that's why they appointed or they bifurcated the soldiers in the caste wise, so that there should be difference between the soldiers. Proper care was taken to avoid Indians to unite and rebel again against the British, and they timely checked that Indians shouldn't get unite and there shouldn't be any rebellious movement against the British. So ये सब planning Britishers ने करना शुरू कर दिया. Changes in policy. Policy means their plan, their rules. So they had brought so many changes. The British accepted the policy of non-interference in social and religious aspects of India. They thought, or they had informed the Indians that they won't interfere in the religious or the social prospects of any religious matter of Indians. They also started taking care that Indian society will not be united on social ground, and even they planned that Indian society not get unite on a social ground. Social ground means basis, ताकि सोसाइटी को अलग कर सके, हिंदूस मुस्लिम का कोई कनेक्शन ना हो, या बाकी जो कास्ट है, ब्राह्मण्स हैं, क्षत्रिय हैं, उनके बीच में भी डिफरेंस आ सके. ऐसी सब प्लानिंग वो लोग करते थे. वो कभी हिंदूस को मुस्लिम्स के खिलाफ भड़काते थे, मुस्लिम्स को हिंदू के खिलाफ भड़काते थे. सो दे स्टार्टेड प्लान. दे सॉ इट टू इट दैट देयर विल बी कांस्टेंट कॉन्फ्लिक्ट ऑन ग्राउंड्स ऑफ कास्ट, रिलीजन, रेस, टेरिटरी एक्सेट्रा. सो कुछ ऐसे इवेंट्स करते थे जहाँ पे हिंदूज और मुस्लिम्स आपस में लड़ाई झगड़े करें, फाइट्स करें, कॉन्फ्लिक्ट्स मतलब उनके इश्यूज हो. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, दे थ्रो काउ, डेड काउ, a dead body of cow in Hindu temple. So then Hindu gets aggressive. At the same time, a dead body of the pigs on the mosque. Then Muslims get aggressive. So these things create and they followed a policy of divide and rule. They adopted means accepted the policy of polluting the minds of Indian by following the divide and rule policy. Due to the freedom struggle of 1857, the Indians felt of giving a united fight against the British rule. The freedom struggle of 1857 became an inspiration of Indian freedom movement. Right? So this movement has brought a big change in Indian society, where people are motivated and they started their fight against the British rule. Understood? Interesting topic. We got to know how this movement has been started, and it is a huge journey. We are talking about the period of 1857, and remember, we got independence in 1947 after a long journey of 90 years. So many people had sacrificed their life, too many movements happened, too much changes done in our nation. So we will going to discuss those topics in our further chapters. Okay, so let's begin with the exercise. The first one, blank. We had given the options, we just need to take the correct one. V.D. Savarkar named the struggle of 1857 as War of Independence. Yeah, we have option here. Next, Dash united the Ramoshis to rebel against the British. Who organized the Ramoshis? Remember? Umaji Naik. Right? After the struggle of 1857, the post of Dash was created in the British government to look after the affairs of India. Which new post has been introduced? Secretary of State. Last, Dash was the Governor General who annexed the princely state. Who was the Governor General who annexed the princely state? Lord Dalhousie. The answer is Lord Dalhousie. Come to the next question. Explain the following statement with reason. We need to explain those statements with the reasons. The first one. The Paikas made armed rebellion against the British. Remember Paikas? Who are the Paikas? Paikas are the standing army of any kingdom or rulers. Those are who are given as the rent-free lands. But in 1803, Britishers conquered the Odisha and they captured the lands of Paika. Due to that, Paika had started the war against the Britishers. You will find the answer on the page number 15 on the Do You Know section. Okay. Next, there was discontent among the Indian sepoys. Why the Indian sepoys were not happy with the Britishers, or they are dissatisfied with the Britishers' policy? We will find the answer in the page number 16 and the topic called the immediate cause. As we had seen, the Britishers introduced a new rifle for which the cartridge are smeared with or greased with fats of cow and pig that need to be tiered, right? So that will be a reason for the discontent among the Hindus and Muslim sepoys. It will be on the page number 16, immediate cause. Next question. The Indian sepoys could not keep stand in front of British army. You will find the answer on page number 19. Why did Indian soldiers or Indian army didn't stand against the Britishers? Because British have a huge army, latest weapons, proper administration. On the page number 19, the last paragraph, lack of military tactics, right? The British had economic strength, disciplined army, enough stock of latest arms and experienced army generals, right? Due to this, the Indian sepoys could not succeed. Understood? Next question. After the struggle, Indian army was divided on the basis of caste. Why Britishers divided the Indian army on the basis of caste? Because they want to divide, right, the Indian soldiers. Even they had put more number of British soldiers in the army, and Indian soldiers are kept away from the artillery. You will find the answer on the page number 19, a topic called change in composition of army, right? Got it? The British imposed heavy taxes on Indian industry. As we all know, British imposed heavy taxes on Indian industry so that Indian industry could not flourish, could not develop. And since the prices are high for the Indian product, people won't buy it and British will sell their own goods, right? We will find this on the page number 16, right? In a topic called economic causes, right? Chalo, come to next question. Answer the following in brief. What were the social causes behind the struggle of 1857? What are the social causes behind the struggle of 1857? You will find the answer on the page number 16. Topic called social causes. We had seen Indian thought that British interference are increasing more in the religious and social causes. So that's why the movement turned into a huge revolt. Right? Why did the Indians fail in the struggle of 1857? On the page number 19, causes of the failure of the struggle. There are too many causes, like struggle was not comprehensive, lack of central leadership, most of the feudatory princes remained aloof, lack of military tactics, right? These are the reasons why we didn't succeed. Write down the consequences of struggle of 1857. Consequences means the effects. What is the effect after the struggle of 1857? On the page number 19, we had seen Queen declared so many new policies. There was change in post. Even the Britishers assured that there won't be any interference in the religious issues. So these are the consequences. What are the changes in British policy of the struggle of 1857? On the same page, on the page number 20, we have a topic called change in policy, where we can get the different policies that were brought after the Indian struggle of 1857. So these are the changes. Understood? So our topic is clear. Everyone please go through the chapter, read it twice. You will find any doubt, underline it, mark it, so that when we will meet or we will have a discussion, we will solve that, and be prepared for your test so that every answer and question should be clear. Okay? Yes. Thank you so much.